tonight's guest saw something very strange when he was on duty, I guess, as a police officer. So, we always like to bring those guys on.
Yeah, the police officers are always good to talk to.
So tonight we're going to bring on Mike, and Mike's going to talk to us about, I believe it's a Dogman creature that he saw. So,
very cool.
Let us not waste any more time. Let us bring him on. What do you say?
Yep, let's get him.
Mike, thanks for being here with us tonight. We appreciate it so much, man.
Hey, I'm just glad to be here.
We know you had a Dogman encounter back in the day. When and where did that happen at?
It was in a county in Alabama called Cherokee County on a county road called 472.
Well, tell us what was going on that day and how you ended up seeing what you saw and what happened after that.
I got a call to come out. There was a individual dressed in white that was killing dogs in this community. So I rode out there, and as soon as I turned on 472, something very large crossed the road. It took 3 steps to cross this 2-lane road. I automatically hollered dispatch, said, "Hey, I'm out on this subject." I grabbed my shotgun and I got up. He went up this embankment and I went up a little bit behind him. And I looked, and it was 30 to 40 yards away from me. And it looked like a bipedal husky. Every feature, it had pointed ears. It just looked like a bipedal husky with the human features. The eyes were bluish, and it had human-like hands. It wasn't quite dog, wasn't quite human. It was very broad and muscular looking. I estimated the height to be between 6'3" to 6'4", and it had to weigh, my estimate was 350 to 400 pounds. Absolutely no fat, solid muscles.
So what did you do after you saw that?
Well, dispatch claimed they had been trying to call me and check my status. The deputies pulled up with me, came out. I told them what I seen, and they told me just be sure to fill out the report. So we went down to this area, the community, and there was pit bulls, like bred for fighting pit bulls, just ripped from jaws down. So we took pictures of it, and I put everything and categorized everything, filled out the report, and gave it to the sheriff at the time.
What was your guys' thoughts when you saw those things? I mean, you had to have been wondering what the heck happened. That wasn't a person that did that, right? I mean, what was your thoughts on that?
There's no way. I have a 100-pound pit bull myself here where I'm staying. And he's big, he's strong, he's very muscular, and there's no possible way I could grab him like that. And I'm pretty strong, but I could not grab him like that and do that kind of stuff. I mean, the strength this thing had is just amazing. I've never seen animals ripped like that. I've just never seen it before. I've answered many a call with, stuff walking around people's houses, but it's nothing like this.
How long were you on the police department?
I served for 20 good years.
Yeah, we didn't know that you were in the law enforcement when we were talking to you earlier about coming on about your Dogman sighting. So yeah, even better. We really like the credibility of you guys coming on and talking about this. I know a lot of guys wait till after they retire, and that's maybe what you've done. But you say you did tell dispatch what was going on and everything. What did everybody say?
They just kept saying 10-9, which means repeat your traffic. And they couldn't believe it. And they know how I am, and they know I'm not rattled. You can't rattle me. But for something like that, they knew something happened for me to be rattled on the radio like that.
You said it looked like a husky, basically a 6-foot husky. pretty much exactly like that? Do you think it was, you've heard about the Dogman, obviously, since you've seen this thing. Do you think that's what it was, but a white one or a gray one or whatever? Or what are you thinking there?
I believe 100% it was a white one. I mean, I've answered calls, research calls myself of white ones being seen in the state of Alabama. It being called the Alabama white thing.
Okay. Yeah, we've heard of that before, the Alabama white thing. I always thought it was a Bigfoot creature.
The white thing is, it's an elderly Bigfoot. It's kind of like the movie Gran Torino, Clint Eastwood's character.
Okay.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
I've never heard of Alabama white thing actually being physically aggressive to anybody. He just kind of throws garbage cans and rattles doors, and he's just sick of everybody. I've told people he's my spirit animal.
Sounds like Brian, actually.
It does.
He's old, he's tired, he's sick of everybody, he's throwing stuff around all the time.
Absolutely.
You should have seen him at the show last week. I mean, for God's sake.
I moved back to the state of Alabama where we have a lot of acreage of land here, and I just soon stay here with my dog and the house cat and not go around people anymore.
That's how I am, man.
That's pretty much what I do now. I might go out and answer a field call.
That's actually pretty much what we do now.
I go out and answer a field call from time to time, but
what do you mean a field call?
Somebody seeing something.
Oh, okay. So you're just investigating like cryptid stuff. Okay. Before you had this happen to you, Mike, and this is going on, did you believe in cryptids and Bigfoot and all that stuff?
Lord, yes. I got really into it due to the show In Search Of with Leonard Nimoy. I used to watch that all the time. Read everything I could. It was books in our elementary school. And I really didn't. I was into it, but I was like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to go out there and look for stuff like this.
Why? Did it scare you that much or what?
No, I just, at the time I was young and didn't think I'd get away from my mom and dad long enough.
Oh, okay.
But when I was 18 years old, I decided, hey, this is what I want to do. And I just got out and started tracking stuff. And I mean, I've got plaster casts of footprints, and a really weird one. It was a 3-toed when I got in around Mount Cheahaw, Alabama.
And you found this one yourself?
Yes, I was with a couple of guys that are, I can't call their names, but they retired state park police. And they called me and said, hey, we got some weird tracks. We kind of want you to come up here and take a look at it. Right. Rode down there, and they was multiple 3-toed tracks. But not like what you'd see on Jurassic Park style 3-toed tracks. Like 2 big bulky toes and one like weird middle one. And that's when I started talking to people and they said they seen a large white object or suspect walking around. And I talked to a park ranger that had been there for 40, 50 years, and he said, that's what people call the white thing. It's more feline-like than what you're hearing from central Alabama. I was like, can you describe feline-like? He said, it has a lion-like mane. It walks on 2 legs. I said, well, how big is it? He said, everything he's heard, it's the tallest he's ever heard was 5'10", 5'11". It's a lot shorter than the traditional Alabama white thing, which is anywhere from 7 to 8 feet tall.
We've heard about a feline type creature before. I think we've had actually a guy on a show, we might have put it on our Patreon, about, I'm trying to think of what he called that thing.
It's escaping me right now.
So what you saw, though, was a wolf, like a husky, 6 foot tall, white, had hands. Do you think that's what was killing these pit bulls, obviously?
Yes. There's no doubt that's what could have killed them.
How many did you say that you found dead?
We found approximately 4. It went, I do believe it was around the same time. I think that it took a little damage possibly. Although I didn't see any blood stains or anything, but I was more focused on what the hell did I just see.
So how many years into your service were you when this happened in your stretch?
Approximately 4 years.
4 years into that. And then what came about after this whole thing? You saw it, time passed on, you talked about it. You never saw anything else about it again? No one ever else reported this creature or anything like that? Or did it disappear? What happened after that?
After that, I got several reports of the same type of creature being seen on another county road approximately 30 minutes from where that was seen. And it was that was on the south end of our county. And what this other county road, which it was County Road 80, it's up in another town, well, outskirts of that town, and it kind of, this road is a well-known road. Really weird stuff happens on this road. People have come up missing, and they've been found dead on this road. Also, stolen vehicles seem to get burnt on this road, and it's just even working there, we have found bodies and just all sorts of weird stuff. So, I mean, if they're telling me it's on this County Road 80, I will 100% believe it was on County Road 80. That is where we find the weird stuff. It's actually about 2 miles from where I'm staying right now.
Well, be careful.
I always am. There's a report on BFRO's website just about 4 miles up from where I'm at now. A Bigfoot was sighted in a pasture looking across the highway into a cow pasture. The lady reported it to her husband, who is actually a guy I know. We're not friends. I just know this guy. And me and him talked about it, and I told him go ahead and turn it into the BFRO. And, I'm not a member of it, but I took the report and everything. And I went up there just to see. He showed me exactly where everything was. And I did find some prints, but they was too degraded because we had a rain shower come through. But I just wished I could have got there and dealt with it sooner. But the way she described this thing, it looked like a very large lemur. I was like, can you go into that? She said, the face looked like a lemur. The rest of it was big and bulky, but it looked like a lemur in the face. I was like, huh. And I automatically think, well, we could have had, another species of Bigfoot. But I remember reports coming in from Florida of people saying what they seen had a face like a lemur. I was like, so this isn't new. I 100% believe what you say because there is weird stuff out here. And we set up trap cams and everything for several days. We checked and never got anything on the trap cam. And the old trick I used, we put one up high in the tree and put another one facing it in another tree. So, it'll catch something coming through. Well, we didn't even get deer. And this area is very populated with deer. And I talked to a guy who lives out there who is a native Cherokee. And he told me, he said, well, if you believe in this, it's cursed. The land is cursed. This is part of where the Trail of Tears come through. And I was like, huh. I said, do you think what they seen is a protector? He said, no. I believe what they seen was an animal. I believe that they seen something. And he said, I believe they seen the forest people.
Yeah, there's so
many.
Go ahead, sorry.
I'm here real close to, and I'm sitting there thinking, this is kind of awesome to me. But I've never had any problems where I live. I always tell people, if you're looking to get into this, first, go with somebody who's done this before. And if that one don't tell you, always consult with a Native American. You don't need to deal with them. Because everybody I know that's been in this always gets the blessing of a Native American. If that Native American can't do it, he'll refer you to somebody who can. If they tell you don't mess with it, I highly suggest you don't mess with it. I believe they communicate, and they have, how do I say this? Their elders have probably passed stuff along of how dangerous human are. I mean, I honestly say the worst thing that's probably ever happened to Earth was humans. And one of the biggest ones I've had, and some of the naysayers, they said, well, why haven't we found one yet? I said, honestly, would you want to be found right now? The way everything's going, do you want to be found? I would love to disappear in the woods and just stay away.
What do you think Bigfoot creatures are, and why do you think they're able to stay so hidden? We've come over here and developed this country in the past under 300 years, right? I mean, look at what we've done. Look at what we've built. The cities, Chicago, New York, LA, the things that we've acquired and done in the past 250, 300 years is amazing as human beings in America, let alone in the world. Why are we still speculating about this creature, and how is this creature still staying hidden all over the world, let alone in the woods of America? What's going on?
We're all still speculating because it's still the unknown. It's that part of us that loves that mystery, that scary story. But I also believe, first, I believe they're a real creature, but I believe that they've seen what we've become, and they don't want any part of us because we've gotten away from our old ways. We no longer really depend on the land. We no longer depend on the weather like we used to. And I honestly believe that in a way they might feel that they've let us down, because I've heard good stories and bad stories about them. Like, I've heard they help the natives grow crops. I've heard that they used to trade with the natives. And now we don't trade anymore. If we want to go somewhere, we go to the grocery store, buy something to eat. We go to a restaurant, buy something to eat. And used to, people fished, hunted for their food. Now just a select few people do that. We're not in the woods as much as we used to be. Everybody stares at their cell phone now. I mean, Bigfoot could walk through and everybody's on their cell phone now.
Yeah, it's a great point, honestly. I mean, we're separating ourselves from these creatures. They're staying so remote and deep and hiding out in the woods and the caves, whatever. They've seen what we've done to the Native Americans, and they want nothing to do with us, and they stayed remote. It's possible. I mean, they've got to be really smart to do it, but it's possible that they could have done this, that we just pulled away from them and just, like you said, stayed in our homes. We're not getting out as much, but it's always the hunters and the fishermen and people that hike and all that stuff that run into these things. But sometimes, a dude's driving down the road and one crosses a road. So I think they're more in our territory than we are in theirs, and I think they're using that. They're learning about us more, and so in that way to be able to keep away from us, if that makes any sense.
They do, but we've also destroyed their territory. We've just, and I hate to say it like this, we came in, we ripped their forests apart to put businesses and housing. They're coming to our turf because we destroyed their turf.
Yep.
And they're probably not too happy with us.
No, I believe that. And some are just curious, right? I mean,
they are.
You know, the newer generations of the Bigfoot are probably more like the generations of humans. That's why I feel like at some point the government's going to have to admit that they're real, like they are UFOs, or not deny that they're not. Too many of them are going to be seen by too many people, and just like the UFO thing, people are going to be like, you know what? Okay, the government's going to say they're probably out there. We don't know, but we're not denying it. When they know they are, when they're keeping them in nature preserves and protecting them and doing all these things that they can to hide them from us, because heaven forbid if we change history.
Well, this is 2025 and nothing would really surprise me anymore.
I mean, I've been waiting for this day since I was 10 years old. Can we just say that Bigfoot's real? Can we just say that it's a real creature out there running around? Too many people have seen it. Be safe when you're camping, but they're really not bad. You know, but then you have to admit that Dogman's real, and that Dogman's killing your dogs and ripping your pit bulls' faces off, and probably the reason that people are come up missing in the wilderness half the time. So they don't want to go to there. They don't want to go to that point.
Well, you heard about that 89-year-old man and his dog killed in Florida, a bear attack.
I heard about a bear attack today. I saw something on Facebook. Somebody said a bear attack in Florida, and I thought that was strange because I don't know how many bears are in Florida, and if there are, they're not that big unless they had a grizzly in a zoo that escaped from somewhere. So what was the deal with that?
Well, the only bear I know of in the state of Florida are black bear. Same as up here. Our bear here doesn't get as big as the black bear in Tennessee because we don't have the food source for them. And down there, I was told by a guy who lived in Florida saying they're smaller there than they are up here. And my first question, well, black bear are kind of skittish of people. He said, yeah. He said, I don't think it was a bear. And me and him talked a little bit. I said, I'm kind of with you. He said, a black bear, unless it's bloodthirsty, and he said he really can't say if it was or wasn't. But they will leave people alone unless the dog could have upset the bear. I mean, I've come in contact with bear up here, and my dogs barked and they ran off. So I can't honestly say that could have been 100% a bear attack.
What do you know about it? What did you hear about the story?
Just the 89-year-old was killed by a bear.
In Florida. Where at in Florida?
I want to say it was Okaloosa. I'm not real sure.
Are there really bear in Florida?
Yes, they're just smaller black bear.
Okay. So black bears, I've been to Gatlinburg. I've been to, Tennessee. I've seen a lot of black bear. My parents are from West Virginia. Spent a lot of time there as a kid. I've never, every time I see a black bear, it's run away from you. It's with, the last time my wife and I went to Gatlinburg, we had the kids with us, and I ordered a pizza. I had to drive up the backside of this mountain and back down the other side to get it, and the way back, came across a black bear mother and 3 cubs on the road, crossing the road. Not a care in the world. I pulled up right beside her, rolled my window down. They were standing. I took pictures. They were 5 yards from my car, if that. The mom didn't even care. They just nothing. Unless this guy was messing with this bear, trying to wrestle this bear, had a heart attack while he was trying to feed this bear.
80 years old.
What's that, Brian?
89 years old.
I mean, I can't believe that.
Florida man, come on.
Now, he could have been feeding this thing in his backyard. It could have been coming in up to his house. I guess it depends on the story, but yeah, black bears do not kill people.
Not very often.
Only way I could have seen it attacking, maybe the dog scared its babies and it thought that it was trying to hurt the babies. That's all I can think of.
Sounds like a cover-up to me.
It's a real good possibility because, you know, Florida's got a lot of weird stuff in it other than Florida man.
We've had Dogman encounters in Florida.
Yes. Well, I've heard a lot about encounters down there. The one place I hear the most about, other than West Virginia, because anything weird is going to happen in West Virginia.
Yep.
I'm just going to tell you that. If it's weird, it's going to happen in West Virginia.
That's why they call it wild and weird West Virginia.
The panhandle of Florida gets, I hear a lot of sightings, the skunk ape. I've heard Dogman encounters. Even up the Georgia coast from Florida, you have Altamaha, the sea serpent that comes into the Altamaha River. So, I mean, I hear of everything through there. I mean, Georgia is packed full of Bigfoot and Dogman. Mobile, Alabama has the Mobile Wolf Woman. She was seen a lot in the 70s, and she hasn't been seen since, like, I think the 80s. And it was a wolf with a female head.
A female head?
Yes, a woman's head.
Okay.
On top of a wolf body.
Or could have been a dog man, a female dog man with breasts or something like that?
Nobody said anything like that. It was just on a wolf's body, and somebody said, oh, it was a skinwalker. No. Skinwalkers are in the Southwest. We have mimics, but they usually do deer, rabbit, stuff like that. The lore was a woman was so either jealous or something that thought her husband was cheating. She made a deal with a tribal shaman or medicine man. I hear both versions. And to turn her into a wolf to spy on her husband. And when she found out he wasn't cheating, she came back and he cursed her, and the husband cursed her, and she could no longer change back into a woman. She just could be like half woman, half wolf.
It's all about that American Indian folklore, pretty much.
There's some pretty cool stuff I've been reading, so.
Well, Mike, we want to thank you so much, man, for being with us tonight and talking about your Dogman encounter that you had.
Hey, anytime y'all need somebody, just call me. I'm usually around.
Okay. Well, if you're out there and you see anything else going on and you hear something, let us know. Reach out to us.
Stay in touch.
We will. All right. Y'all man. Have a great day.
Yeah, have a good one, Mike. Thanks again, brother.
You too. Bye.
These Dogman encounters, they just keep on coming.
I know, man. They're just getting more and more, it seems.
I was looking on our comments on Spotify. Some of the guys were posting, and one guy was like, love your show. Everything's great. How about a little less Dogman, a little more Bigfoot?
Yeah, I saw that one.
I don't know.
Hey, man, it's, if they bring it to us, we're going to post it. I mean, it's cryptid.
I got to be honest with you. I'm kind of liking the Dogman encounters more now. I'm getting into them. So, yeah, it's cool having Mike on and hearing about that, as always.
Yeah, it was. Yep.
All right. I don't want to keep these people's time. They've heard enough of us. I'm ready to get out of here. What do you say?
Yep. See ya.